Welcome to another Flash Hour. Flashers. I don't know. I think that might be a new thing. Are we the flashers? Well, anyway, LP providers, FAF stakers, and Flash traders, maybe flashers. Welcome to another Flash Hour. We'll go over everything Flash trade, what is coming up. We do a little open intro of course, just to let everybody kind of pile in and see what the team has to say about what's been done this week and what will come up next week. And then we do have Super Tokyo coming up. So Super Tokyo will be a lot of fun for us. But next week, we more than likely will miss Flash Hour. I'll try to maybe do something with spaces or something just so we can get a little update. But more than likely, it'll just be we'll skip next week and give you an update the following week. But without further ado, we'll get Anas in here.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. How's my volume, by the way? You doing okay? I got this new headset, so I'm trying to test it out.
I just moved my headset from my storage. I had this AirPod Max for a while now, but yeah, never used them much. Now it's there. I hope I'm very loud and audible now.
No. You're good. Your audio is much better. I don't know what I don't know what you did, but it's a lot better than it was for sure.
Yeah.
And oh, there's Zohid. So this week, just to quickly go through the trenches, we got a lot to cover, but the trenches basically a lot of stuff with government and US based, of course, every month. But the Fed government speech suggests that the rates are going to stay the same because of, I watched it myself, basically because of tariffs and everything with the inflation risk. The ISM, which is basically manufacturing, report says that it was 46.8. It was below the expected 48.5. So, just missed it. U.S. trade balance, June deficit widens. So that's another. So that's why markets, actually what's crazy is Sunday night, things just went parabolic. So I was not expecting that actually with all this data. I was actually expecting kind of a downward, and then of course it just ripped. But yeah, so I mean, initial job loss claims, that's coming up. So that, will make for a really interesting volatile trading session. Clarity Act status staled in the Senate, unfortunately. With some concerns around, I guess there's concerns around, from what I read, Trump's involvement in crypto, as well as regulatory issues and stuff like that. Solana Seeker phone, I still haven't got mine, and it's killing me. But waiting on my. Did you get yours yet?
Nope, it's on the way.
Okay, yeah, mine. That I just really want to test it really bad. And honestly, all these unboxings, it's like, what do they call that? ASM or whatever, ASMR, you know what I mean? Where you that's what it is for me. SEC crypto initiatives. This is really cool. This is a reason why you should be super bullish, even with all this other, government stats. Let's just say they're not the best, but the reason to be bullish, SEC literally has something called the Project Crypto. Pretty insane. They're going to, and then the executive order to make sure that crypto is no longer being debanked. White House also has in their crypto report that just came out, there's a potential national cryptocurrency reserve. I'm hoping that it is smart, or they're smart enough to have that the majority of Bitcoin, but we will see if they get talked into other cryptos. A lot of lobbyists. Where's Zohid? I got to pull him up here. There we go. All right. I apologize. There we go. And then just a flash overview. Loop scale is killing it. We're into the 3%, our 3-number percentage.
The 3-figure APY has
there you go. 3-figure APY.
For the last 2 weeks or so, and FLP-4 has been performing very well, to be honest. because it has all your favorite meme coins, which is Bonk, Pump, and Pengu. So it's like the ultimate, gold standard of the meme coin pool that you can find. And the looping has been very profitable on FLP-4, as well as the new addition of FLP-3, and FLP-1 has been in the three-figure range for 2 months now. So yeah, a lot of people are making a lot of money by looping on Loopscale, and we just wanted to highlight that it's a very profitable way of making more money.
I actually, I was talking, I think I said this last week. I was talking about how I did the loop scale. I was starting to like really scale in. I got a little bit of FOMO, not gonna lie. So yeah, I'm in there now as well. And yeah, it's insane. So we have some more things coming up about loop scale down the line here that we'll talk about, just some improvements that were made, and everybody who's involved in loop scale will be happy to hear that. But we've added another 100 million to the volume. We've added quite a lot, actually, to the total rev distributed for FAF stakers, since they do benefit from 50% rev share. And then FLP-1 is way back up. I don't know if you, the viewers, if you remember, FLP-1 took a little dip, just a little pullback, just like a normal chart. Things can't go up forever, but we are back, baby. 142 and climbing. So,
Yep.
And what did we get done this week? This is always another favorite.
For sure. First of all, yeah, finally Degen Mode is live and kicking in, and we are seeing a lot of people enjoying the mode, and a lot of people are sort of trading very well, and then and sharing their PNL cards, and it's always very interesting to watch people getting excited. And it's like the answer to the trenches that people were, trying to trade through Axiom, Photon, or there are other platforms, but overall, like 500x leverage is like the degenous thing that you can do and trade your favorite assets. And we are looking forward to, add Degen Mode to other assets that we have on Flash, such as Radium, Jupiter, Bonk, Pump,
100%.
and it would be a very interesting, addition overall. And with the Degen Mode, there was some issues that popped up, because when you are trading with high leverage, we expect a lot of things to go haywire, and that is what happened with our UI. And for the past week, we actually went on to make more improvements on the back end so that your degenness can be supported on Flash. And it took us good amount of digging around to make things smoother and make the experience much better. But still, we have this terms and conditions that you accept before using Degen Mode, where the stop losses and take profits you cannot guarantee when prices are moving very fast. And to be more precautious, we also have a close only mode that is added on Degen Mode. And when there is more volatility, you won't be able to access Degen Mode, because we won't be able to serve you as you want. So there is this sort of restriction when there is very high volatility. But apart from that, you'll be able to trade Degen Mode as best as possible that we can provide. And with the Degen Mode, the most important, trader benefit to the trader experience is the removal of swap fees. So the swap fees was accounting about 10 to 15% of average fees that you were paying when you're opening a position on Flash, because if you were to bring a different asset and it needs to be swapped, the pool used to charge you some sort of fees when you're opening a trade against it. But now that fees is removed, and we are very happy to see much more competitive pricing in terms of the perpetual offerings. And you can actually check it out right now as well. Like if you go on Ranger and if you try to open a SOL per position, you would see like more than 80% of the flows is going to Flash trade right now. And it's a very interesting achievement when you are able to get the flow when there is an order book exchange, and still pool to peer model is overtaking that. So very, very, very happy to see that. And especially the roadmap that we have, where we would be launching the same engine on a very much epic engine, which is powered by Magic Blocks, would basically make us more competitive and offer much better fees with the much better number of assets possible at the highest possible leverage. 100%. So very, very interesting and very excited to see how this all is unveiling while we are developing the stuff. And with the Degen Mode, there was a lot of requests that were coming up to make the P&L card much more detailed. So we also added some more details where it just shows you the duration of your trade, and also there was, before it was more of a collateral based P&L that we were showing, but now it's size based, or it's vice versa. I don't know. So correct me if I'm wrong. But I think it's
yes. Isn't it size based now? Yeah, because it was
it's
collateral.
size based now.
Yeah.
So that has been an interesting improvement. But the big news is the Camino integration is completed, and it has been the work for, I think it's more than 3 or 4 months that we have been working on and getting things audited and being tested with Camino, so that everyone has that flawless experience that Camino offers, and there is no risk thing that we overlook. So currently talking with the community in terms of how we structure the incentive for getting the market live, because it would be an isolated market on Camino where we will have FLP assets listed versus USDC, where you can borrow and lend these FLP assets and have an isolated market on Camino. And looking forward to have that live probably this month once we have the incentivization structured out. So very happy to see this complete and now working towards getting it live. So yeah, that is like the biggest achievement, I think. But Degen Mode is bigger. But yeah, this is one more. And I think the lastly, it's what Max, you were working on, the user survey.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The user survey is great. So if you did get invited into the user survey, we really, really do appreciate it. It is helping immensely with understanding exactly where we are and where we need to be. We're, thoroughly going over everything and making sure that all features that are requested are added. So we've reached out to key individuals in our community who have been, outstanding with their feedback and constantly engaged, and they were able to give us a survey, about 20 questions, and we're going to be digging through that this week and really making sure that all those issues are addressed, or not issues, but just recommendations that you all gave us. And if you are liking this live, or if you are extremely bullish on the future of Flash like I am, go ahead and like and share this out for us so we can get more eyeballs during Flash Hour, so we can get more people excited about the future of Flash. But yeah, Degen Mode went really, really well. UI improvements across the board. I mean, just every day I'm seeing improvements. I actually use the platform, believe it or not, every single day.
Every one of us uses it.
Yeah. A lot of people think, like, do they actually use it? And yep, we're using it every single day, both on live and on DevNet. So swap fees, that's a cool one. And then the shareable P&L card, that's a huge improvement. A lot of people have been asking for that. So still working to improve it even further. But what a great improvement. We've seen it all over X now too. So I've seen a lot of people using it. So that's amazing. And then Camino Multiply, that's going to be a huge plus. Zohid, anything to add here? I see you changed.
Well, not much. It was, a bit of an inspiration from the janitor. And yeah, when we meet up in Tokyo, there's going to be a lot more to work on. So next week is going to be fun. Just gonna add a little thing on Degen Mode, the balance that we wanted to have in terms of the limits, which again we would be reviewing and expanding. One interesting metric that Anas was sharing in the office earlier today was Degen Mode contributing significant volumes, like 30% on an average is the volumes that Degen Mode contributes. That's quite a thing for something that's just gone live. And considerably more degen than the risk engine allows. So we've got all of the good things with it, like there's limited exposure the pool takes on degen positions, and all of that is just crazy. And most of the effort behind the scenes went into maintaining compatibility and maintaining that seamlessness. Like, or you have limit orders, you have other stuff that gets merged in. You can have a normal position. You go to Degen Mode. All of that is abstracted away. You just come in. If you want to take up a Degen position, you go and do that. And all of the other things just work seamlessly. So yeah, shout out to the team for pulling it off in a smooth way. And also shout out to Alice Labs for finally getting us off the knock with the Camino integration, and a lot more to follow on that.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure.
Now, moving into what's coming next. What's coming next? The fated Futarchy proposal.
Yeah, finally, I think we will have the second proposal, which is about how we incentivize the Camino market to get off ground. So even if you check Camino right now, most of the markets, when they go live, they have some sort of incentive structure that goes out so that it attracts the existing users of Camino to get along. So it's like their ritual of Camino, where when you are coming with a new market, you come with some more incentives. So I think this is something is gonna be out this week for a temperature check in the Flash Labs channel for the community to go through the details of the Futarchy proposal, and then if everything goes well, we will tweak the numbers, and according to that, we'll put up the proposal. And once the proposal is passed, those FAF tokens would be used as incentives to bootstrap the market on Camino. So very excited, and I think it's gonna be a controversial proposal, but nonetheless, I'm very happy to see the moving forward with things. It's more important, and FLP with its higher yields, it's very important for us to be on the biggest lending market to be available as an asset. It is like a basic necessary step. So that is my thinking, that we should incentivize that market as best as possible, because it's all in the direction of growing the thing, where if you attract more TVL, it attracts more volume and it attracts more revenue. And that is how the people who are earning FAF, who would be voting on this proposal, would vote on their future for earning more revenue, not thinking in the direction of, oh my God, we are putting out more FAF tokens in the market, but it is in the direction of getting more TVL. So we will be in the chat and we will be discussing more in Discord about the Futarchy proposal. But moving ahead,
would you call that a perpetual flywheel?
Yes, it is a perpetual flywheel. Yes, it's a flywheel. Even now, what we are seeing is a flywheel effect, where due to Degen Mode, we are seeing increased amount of fees that is being generated to the protocol, because there is no fee discounts on Degen trading, right? So there is extra amount of fees that is being quoted towards the FAF holders, and that is how you create that flywheel effect, where it's more APY, it makes more sense to buy more FAF, and the price of FAF goes up, which gets more people to come on Flash Trade, and everything grows by that. So it's more important of tweaking those systems in best way possible to generate that flywheel effect. I don't want to call it as a flywheel effect, because it's kind of bearish to talk about flywheel. It's all about like a snowball effect, snowballs or avalanche. These are like a bigger things than flywheels. So let's I always think about features like snowballs, like the bigger the snowball becomes, the best it's for the platform. So let's see how big of a snowball this thing becomes and grows Flash.
One thing to add with the second Futarchy proposal, just real quick, it has nothing to do with the proposal, but I think it's October 15th, 2025, right? Isn't that the last portion to claim FAF and burn your beasts?
No. That's in October. That's in October.
October, yeah, 15th, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's just wanted to get that out there. But do you want me to go over the trading view charts next?
Sure, for sure.
The expansion, the trading view expansion, we're basically just expanding the charts. We're wanting to make sure that the 1 second, potentially 30 second as well, we're trying to see what we can work in there. It helps out. That's one feature that has kind of been realized through the Degen mode. Right now we have 1 minute, so it would be really nice, especially since we do have the close only mode, it's going to be really good to have those 1 second, 30 second charts, because the last thing you'd want to do is open a position when you're going right into resistance and then tanking down, let's say it's a long. So we want to have those 1 second and 30 seconds that will serve Degen Mode a lot better for sure. So,
yeah,
but
the 1
loop
second
scale
charge
as well. The new this is something you probably should talk about. And Zohid is the loop scale new mechanism for FLP and burn.
It's not just related to loop scale. It's about all the people who want to loop FLP, which is through Camino's Multiply or loop scales loop. So this new mechanism would basically eliminate the fees to mint FLP, and there will be a kind of fixed fee or a variable fee when you burn FLP. So when you are entering the loop, there would be basically no fees or a different setup, which would allow loopers to get more PNL when they are looping their FLP on Flash. Zohid, if you want to dive in, would be great. The structure
for sure.
Yeah.
Composability for the win, baby. That's the thing we've been working for. And yeah, mint and burn, like supporting loops. One of the biggest impediment to well-executed looping strategy is to have lower fees, because you're literally going to iterate over a multiple number of times, borrowing capital and then injecting it back into the pool. So if we're able to reduce the resistance we have in getting people started, it's going to compound into a flywheel effect or a snowball effect, as being discussed. So an important step there is to make sure that people are able to enter and exit, obviously. Like even liquidations, if at all are ever to happen, you want that to be smoother. So that's where adding and removing liquidity right now carries a lot of computationally heavy mechanism for fees. We are making that a whole lot lighter, yet sophisticated enough to deter any kind of theatrics or shenanigans that people want to execute with different tokens. Because literally a mint and burn with different tokens translate to a spot swap, which is something that even Flash's liquidity pool can offer. But we don't really want to go into the dark FI space, or not dark FI, but the dark AMMs or however proprietary AMM thing, which is taking over on Solana, right? Like it's serving considerable volumes. It's competing against the best order book designs out there, and like prop fee has been like building in parallel along with all of the DeFi on Solana. Ray Marca hardly ever showing up in terms of your spot volumes. It's always ZeroFi, Solfi, and all of these dark AMMs out there. So in order for us to not be on the receiving end of the bad arbitrage or the toxic flow, we need to have like a standard balance between us making it easier for people to loop versus like getting wrecked by all of these spot arbors coming for the free lunch. So that's where we've optimized a lot of things. A lot of things yet to do on that part, especially around risk management, and us leading on that front. But yeah, another important technical upgrade that we have bought for Mint and Burn FLP is to extend the amount of assets that can be listed on the pools. So I don't know if people remember us delisting a few assets like Wormhole on Pool 3. That was primarily in effect to allow FLP3 loops on loop scale, for instance, right? So now you can even take your FLP3s and loop on those. And one of the requirements there is CPIs require stricter transaction size limits. All of those technicals kind of put aside. Now, with the improved design, people should be able to kind of provide liquidity to pools which support a lot more markets than what we have got right now. Literally doubling the capacities. Right now, we've got like 6 assets on each pool, and you can double that to 12 while maintaining all of the loops and all of the other DeFi integrations on FLP. So those two things combined together are going to make looping on Flash and allowing more assets to be listed together, contributing to the wider flywheel effect we are looking to create.
For sure. Yep, that is one thing. And moving ahead, the preview integration. So basically, we really wanted to make sure the onboarding experience of new users is as smooth as possible. And what we did is like we asked Privy to add some interesting features that we really wanted as a dApp, so that users, when they come on Flash, they just have a seamless experience of onboarding with the wallet and then adding money to that wallet and then using that wallet without the need for confirming your transactions. And that is something that we really want to get rid of at Flash as well. And hopefully, if things work very well, we might even see the gasless experience that everyone is talking about these days in the blockchain ecosystem. Hopefully, Zohid agrees on some stuff, but that is something that is always on the roadmap. But yeah, overall, it's a very great improvement once the onboarding experience is completed. We are aiming this to be done this month, the preview integration, and have a very smoother onboarding flow. And even that, with that, even if you are a Phantom user or Soulflare user or Backpack user, you'd be able to create a Flash account that is built using Privy, and then with that Flash account, you'd be able to interact with Flash seamlessly, just as you interact with any centralized exchange. So that is the direction that we are heading with this integration. And the next important thing is a complete overhaul of referral program is being worked on. Right now, the referral rewards were airdropped to your wallets whenever your referred user was using through your referring, but it seems people are not able to understand where that money is coming into their wallet sometimes, and there has been some complaints that the percentage of the referral rebates is not that high. So both of them things are going to be changed, and Zohib is taking the lead. So I would love if Zohib can add some more details on it. Yes.
For sure, this is one thing that stayed with us since the start. Like this system has been there since the day Flash launched. So it's like changing or tweaking the structure, the OG legacy structure that we've had, which supported us back in the NFT days, and then the migration. And as not many people might be aware, right now, Flash supports dual referrals. Like even your older NFT referrals are still supported. So yeah, all of those beats which haven't been burnt, they still have a purpose today. They're still referring people, they're still offering rebates, and that's just the way we work on things. Like we maintain backwards compatibility on everything that we've ever had. So that's one of the biggest challenges we face when in terms of revamping the referral program or the current structure that we've had. But yeah, it needs to be done. That's been said by so many community voices as well in the past. But yeah, it just took us a whole lot to kind of come with a design that's one, doesn't break anything that already exists, and number two, kind of maintains this extensibility later on. Let's call it builder codes or any other form of that these rebates flowing through our platform to other builders or supporters. That's the thing that the new program is going to bring along. And one quick thing to note there would be just having the proper UX, right? You've got these rebates, you can collect them anytime you want. And as Anas has been working on the wider side of the UX, we might have something more granular where you see who or which of your referees is earning you the most, and kind of all of those breakdowns. That's all there. It's just a fact of bringing it all together and improving the UX for rebates. And since we've seen this from Hyperliquid and a lot of other successful exchanges in the space, that referral programs are a big contributor to growing volumes and expanding the user base. So our revamped referral program is going to get the same page for sure.
Yeah.
I think moving on, I think the last point is about Margin Engine V2. So I didn't want to write Margin Engine V2. I just took out a feature from Margin Engine V2 to be talked about. Because as you said, it's going to be a step-on-step improvement. We are not going to go all out with it because it's a huge change. So it's one step at a time improvement. So I think let's talk about this improvement, which I think it's ready to be merged in this month or so.
Absolutely, and that's the point of us having it reviewed and peer reviewed and kind of formally verified to make sure that we don't overstep, because that also is a fundamental change. Because that's similar to the rebate structure. It's been the legacy system for us to track collaterals independently. We are the only platform on Solana that do that in terms of pool-to-peer perpetuals, where your collateral is completely isolated. So it's kind of similar to coin margining. So let's say when you're longing Bitcoin using Bitcoin on Flash, it's literally the same. Whether you bring USDC or not, we would swap your collateral and keep it in the same index. So if you're literally longing BTC using BTC, it's more akin to it's more akin to coin margining than USD margining. It has its own implications. That was liked by a few people, But for a lot of people, normal users, it's confusing because liquidation price is a lot more volatile when you have such a system, because your collateral is also losing value when the trade goes against you and along. So those things need to be addressed. But because we had a tightly packaged system of accounting, which is compute optimized, we just couldn't kind of have this in earlier. But now with Margin Engine V2, when you have cross-collateralized positions, it's an absolute necessity. You can't bother to check the price of the underlying or backing asset and then check the price of your trade. And there's so many things that can go wrong as a trader when you try cross coin margining system. And that is the time we decided to put the brakes on it and finally shift to a standard USD margin system, which allows us to, which gives us two benefits. Number one is fixed liquidation price, which never changes, even irrespective of margin fees, which is going to be a huge improvement in terms of UX. And with this, since we do not operate on a funding system just yet, maybe we'll have one in the future, this makes your trades far more predictable than any other place. Like even centralized exchanges, because of funding, could be unpredictable at times. But we are going to offer something that's literally never seen before in terms of these two improvements. Like one gets us on par with a lot of other exchanges in the space, including centralized exchanges, and the other, fixed liquidation prices, just takes us a bit further than any trading experience out there. So yeah, this is what contributes to V2. It's a combination of so many things. Putting up
for sure
just at this point. But yeah, like the final culmination would be a lot more assets on pool one, which even the survey results indicate, which I think Max will be talking about a little more. But yeah, that's where people want more assets, and all of these are going to bring us closer to be able to list all of those on Flash.
Yep. I just want to highlight what you were saying. It's not about just reaching to what centralized exchanges are offering. It's more about how better we can offer things than what is existing right now in terms of all the perpetuals that centralized exchanges are offering. So it's not just about to offer what they have, it's more about offering what best we can offer than what it is they are offering. So yeah, love to see the fixed liquidation prices. It basically allows traders to have full control over their positions and not being liquidated without them knowing the price at which they got liquidated just because of different ranging fees. So it's a very huge improvement in terms of trading.
Massive improvement for sure. And then just an overall experience. And just to touch on we're not going to match centralized exchanges. We're wanting to exceed centralized exchanges.
Yes.
Offer a better experience.
Absolutely.
All right. And that is the road to $1 trillion in trading volume, of course. But yeah, embedded in the background there is magic blocks. And I just wanted to, and as well as Margin Engine V2 at the top there, you can see very faint, but it is there. The testing and updates from magic blocks. We had actually just talked about it previous to jumping on this live, and I just wanted to potentially dive into that to expand on. I know our community's really gung-ho on magic blocks, so where are we at with that?
Sure thing. One thing for us to note is that they kind of had a few additional features requested from magic blocks, and the team is being gracious in kind of walking us through some of the updates that they've had, and we've got a test environment up to kind of analyze performance. It's still it's not production ready just yet. That's the thing that even magic block team kind of understands at this point, that okay, there are a lot of things that you can optimize for, and they've been doing an amazing job at getting those. So in our last call over the last week, one of the takeaways that we have had is that callbacks are kind of a system which integrates the transfer of data between ERs and mainnet a lot more robust and connected together. And even Jito BAM and all of these incremental features on top would be nice. And one thing on that note from Jito is a speed bump plugin, which is one of the initial implementations of BAM. Again, BAM is like quite a big thing in that scope. But speed bump plugin. Mispronounce it all the time. Yeah, speed bump plugin. You can read about it at the Jito forums. That thing is going to help us because with magic blocks, one of the biggest troubles we face is getting the data transmitted to and from the ER and mainnet. But yeah, the speed bump plugin is just going to help us make sure we are able to have the data come in before anything else can happen. Traders or LPs can come in, but once we have the data kind of merged in together at the start of every block, everything else can just flow and through the remaining blocks, or like once in every second or two we'll have the data moved between the two environments. This thing just allows us to have these functionalities where we retain much of our capital flow and custody of assets on mainnet while having all of the other stuff moved to the ER. So there's a lot of coordination work. Composability needs to be maintained. Everything needs to remain, because even LP integrations, one of the biggest things with talking of a roll-up approach or even an extended sidecar implementation is that you might break composability unwantingly, because one of the biggest benefits of being connected to the ecosystem, being composable, is just that you can find a lot more liquidity, you can find a lot more use cases, and that's one of the reasons you don't see Drift kind of going and building its own settlement layer or its own matching engine, which is distinct from Solana Mainnet. And that we believe as collective builders in the space is the true testament of you actually caring for the ecosystem to grow in the long run. So in short, like, there's a lot of coordination effort that goes behind it. We need coordination between teams that are building the scheduler and the future of the scheduler on Solana, including Jito, and then you have to work with RPC providers themselves, because not all users would have access or geographical distribution, which exactly matches what exists today in terms of magic blocks and all of our providers existing in the space. So everything coming together is where we are right now, like coordinating with all of these different teams, making sure our architecture is scalable and stable. That's where we are. And with magic blocks, I think over the next couple weeks or more, we're going to have an initial version that we will be able to test and benchmark the performance. And that could kind of get us started on the road to having a plan to roll it out to the community for alpha testing in sorts. So keep an eye out for the next couple weeks. And yeah, if we're able to get the Magic Blocks teams to also kind of work alongside and deliver, it's gonna be a huge thing. So props to us for that.
Just so Anas, you could tie it all together for us here. What the community really wants to know, as far as the technicals, we do have a lot of actually technical people who attend our lives, but for the normies out there, how does this all work? Why does it matter? What is Margin Engine V2, Magic Block, BAM? How does this all work for the trader at the end of the day?
It's just about offering any asset on the earth to be traded on Flash without any latencies and the issues of you going to and fro from any chain, but just because Solana might be slow for you. So we just want to remove the experience of all the latency issues or the fee issues that you have when you trade on Solana. So it's all about just smoothing out the experience and just letting them trade what they want to trade at the highest possible leverage and at the cheapest fees. So that is all what we are trying to work, and not leaving the mainnet as our main goal right now, because liquidity is the moat. And what we have seen so far, even on Ethereum L1, is although Ethereum L1 is transacting at a speed of 20 to 15 TPS and everyone is mocking the shit out of them, the TVL on Ethereum is about $90 billion, which is 10 times more than Solana. So TVL is a rock solid thing that does not move very fast between any new chain that you build. And as builders, we know this dearly, that we can build the best possible chain out there, but money won't move on it as we want. And we have seen that multiple times. We have seen that with Bera chain. We have seen that with there are many chains that people have worked and many incentivization angles that people have worked. It does not work in that fashion. They need a rock solid, chain that does not move a lot to have the capital on.
Stable foundation.
Yes, stable foundation, and that's where the money comes in. So in that direction, that is the main reason why we have devoted our scaling things by using magic blocks, because that helps us to keep the continuum between our engine and the mainnet and have no loss in that experience. And your assets will stay on the mainnet. It won't leave the mainnet when you're trading on Flash that is powered by magic blocks. So that is the reason why we have like put down our sword and have been digging through this huge mountain that is the scaling thing for Flash and been building in that direction. But I'm very happy that last week we were able to get that. It was just on the terminal, to be honest. It was not a UI. So just on the terminal, we were able to see that, okay, we are able to deploy in magic blocks. So we are very happy to see that small step improvement. But overall, it is very important for us to not leave the mainnet, and that is the reason why we are scaling in this direction and not moving to a different L2 on Solana.
Yeah.
No,
I think that was a mouthful.
Yeah. TLDR, increase the sex appeal while being true DEX. That's the.
Oh my god.
That's the biggest thing you can say. IBRL without leaving Solana behind.
IBRL. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be huge. As you can tell, I'm super pumped. So let's move into the next section here. Of course, any questions that were raised? We've got a lot, actually. This week is good. GM, it's good to see you. Dogebot, always active in our Discord. Tom, hey Tom. GM. All right. Says, when can we leverage trade these pools? I mean, technically you can. You can leverage trade the yield. So
you can leverage trade it on loop scale right now, and even you can leverage trade the yield itself on RateX.
Yep.
So you can do the leverage trading of these pools right now through our integration partners. And if you are not able to understand those technical details, we have everything laid out in our documentations on how to use these partner integrations to get the best yield out of these pools.
Yeah. Absolutely. We have some really good videos brought to you by the janitor that walk you through step by step. And if you're not into the video and don't like looking at my ugly face, I've typed it all out for you. So those work too. Let's see here. Oh, just noticed that the P&L card includes now your leverage. Great update. Thanks, brother. I wonder who gave us that.
Shout out to Seb right there. Like Seb has been pushing us to get those things off, though we've had them on the backlog for since forever. But yeah, I don't know how people refer to Seb, the Seb that we're referring to. Maybe the janitor can make it clear. But yeah, shout out to him for kind of pushing us on getting these out.
Yeah, Seb Monty, is that what you're talking about? Yeah, he's great. He offers some amazing feedback. We really do appreciate him staying involved in the background. We have some open channels with him. It's always good to see that. And then, of course, we have our community members building their own projects around Flash. So we want to do some shout outs here. Flash back. We did not create a slide for you, but I will graciously, absolutely bring you up here and make sure that everybody knows there is a project called Flashback, and research them on X. They do have an X page, just FYI. Give them a follow. Snowball effect, that is for sure. GM, Kenneth, good to see you.
I think I've answered the questions of Kenneth in the chat. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Mainly is a Helios. Yep. Oh, you've already got the chat going here. Thanks for the shout out. Of course. Yeah, of course. Love shouting out people in the community. I was actually a massive community member before I got here. So we did a lot of things around Flash Trade, and we greatly appreciate it. And I definitely notice. Don't think it goes unnoticed. I pay attention to all of it. And we will be, just to reiterate, we will be in Japan well, the team will be in Japan by next week for Flash Hour. So more than likely there will not be a massive Flash Hour update. I actually won't, right, Anas? I won't. I don't think so. This is kind of dumb, but I don't know my own schedule. I'll have to look. I believe I take off on Thursday, so I could do a Flash Hour, but
You can do it. Yep.
yeah, but it wouldn't be attended by the team. It would just be me. So I'll just be blabbering on for a good amount of time and trying to entertain you all as best as possible. But coming to the end of our Flash Hour here, not to hold you guys any longer. We really appreciate y'all attending. Do you guys have any last words for the viewers?
Nope. I think it's more about us. We would be in Japan and trying to preach the gospel of Flash with the traders in Japan and try to get more people onboarded and see how best we can serve them there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally agree. We'll be there, and if you actually if you are there, let us know. Drop into our Discord. We'd love, especially me. I would love to meet you guys, shake your hand. You know, maybe go out to lunch, breakfast, maybe go for a run. You know, work out, whatever you guys are into. I'd be more than happy to. Maybe we can do a little contest, in-person contest, and we'll see who wins out in Degen mode. Just a small little gentleman's bet. But other than that, guys, I'm going to close out here. Let's see. Oh, 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right. Well, thank you all for attending another great Flash Hour. We're always really happy to share what we've got done this week and what is coming. And there's so much coming down the line. So tune in for next time if you can. If you got liquidated in Degen mode this week, go ahead and share this video for us. Drop a like myself. And we will see you, or I will see you next week. And then for the rest of the team, we will be back in attendance for Flash Hour the following week. So like always, traders, I'll see you in the markets.